Welcome to OCD. I'm Max, and here we deep dive into the world of movies, TV shows, and all things media. Whether you're a film buff, a TV binge watcher, or just looking for your next favorite series, we've got you covered with in-depth reviews, thoughtful analysis, and the latest industry news. Subscribe and join me on this journey.
Hollywood is spending way too much money on failing movies and TV shows. You would think with all this money being spent, there would be more movies, there would be more TV shows with better writing, better acting, just better production overall. But that's not what's happening. Where the money's going to, nobody knows. I've looked it up. It's been talked about on TV, on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere, everywhere, and I just don't see how these movies can be burning through money, like that scene in The Joker. Now, to be profitable, you have to make, or typically a film or a movie or a TV show has to make 2.5 to 3 times the budget. So if you spend $1 million on a movie, marketing, whatever it is, you have to make at least $2.5 million to $3 million to be profitable and not just break even or just fail in the box office. A good example of this is Amazon. Amazon spent $462 million on the first season of The Rings of Power. Now, that also includes the limited TV rights, which I say limited because it only includes certain characters, certain names, certain storylines, and certain events from the timeline in the appendix, but it just doesn't feel anything token. It just feels very... I don't know why they didn't make a different show. The writing is terrible, the acting is laughable. I don't know how it costs so much when everything just looks so fake. The Lord of the Rings trilogy, not just one movie, the trilogy, by the way, it was also filmed and produced within 1999 and 2000. That trilogy, all 3 movies, was a total of $281 million. The trilogy cost a little bit more than just buying the limited rights to the name, because basically all they did was name it The Lord of the Rings. They basically just bought the name and some shitty third-party characters no one really cares about and made a bunch of other shittier fucking new characters. Now, Star Wars, which really offends me because it's really close to my heart, near and dear to my heart, isn't immune to this either. Disney's series The Acolyte, an 8-episode run. Now, let me just let you in on a little bit of information about this show that not a lot of people like to talk about. The showrunner for this show was the ex-personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein. We're talking the assistant to the guy that went to prison for a lot of allegations that were pretty much found to be true. Now, this person, Leslie Headland, was also partially writing the show, and she's a showrunner, so she basically has control over the show. The reason I mention this show is because aside from the controversy of the ex-personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein, Leslie Headland, aside from a rap video made by the star of The Acolyte calling all the fans phobes and ists, aside from all that, at first the show was reported to cost $180 million. The show, right? That means the 8 episodes that came out total cost $180 million. That's already more than most movies out there that are not basically Marvel movies or other Star Wars movies. The show is terrible. I don't even want to call it that, but it's a show. That was terrible. That cost $180 million. And then it came out that it was actually closer to $230 million. So $230 million. The trilogy, the original trilogy's entire budget combined was $76.5 million, around there. I understand it was in the 70s and 80s. I understand the technology was just very, very, very simple. I understand Lucasfilm was pretty much a garage at that point in the beginning, and they were working with what they could, and it still looks awesome. The story is still awesome. The characters are awesome. The ship, the Millennium Falcon, is a character. People know that more than they know the names of cars on the road. So yeah, it was a big deal. But $76.5 million for the trilogy, the original trilogy, $230 million. And now, as of yesterday, it's coming out with them having to file their tax. I don't know what it is that they're having to file, but it came out that it's actually over $300 million. So first it was 180 million, which is already fucking ridiculous. Then it was $230 million, and now it's $300 million plus. So who knows? It could be $500 million. I'm thinking it's probably closer to $500 million, including marketing, including paying these actors extra, whatever they have to pay them to film more scenes, and like basically to have them be present to their marketing things. It's just incredible how much 8 episodes of a TV show. Where I don't see it. The production looks terrible. The CG is, well, okay, there's a couple of cool things in the CG. The little, I think his name is Basil, the little guy. He's pretty cool. He actually looks good. The guy from Squid Games, he was really good. I didn't like his character. It was really badly written. But I guess he was the only guy that I almost believe could have been an actual Jedi. Other than that, it was... I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Now, Marvel. That we already hit Star Wars, we hit Lord of the Rings, which I'm already dead inside about. Marvel, for example, Endgame. It hit 2.799 around there, almost $3 billion in 11 days, as far as the box office. Okay? That's the only reason you can justify a $400 million budget. It definitely paid off. So that was in 2019 when it released. Now, the Marvels, which was, again, I just don't understand who's in charge. Well, I know who's in charge. Kathleen Kennedy's in charge of Lucasfilm, and that's obviously why. I don't even have to start with that. That's obvious. Kevin Feige, though, why? He created an empire from 2008. Well, actually, earlier than that. He was a producer in the X-Men movie and Spider-Man in the early 2000s. But he created, basically, from the ground up, in 2008, an empire that may last who knows how long. It's already been, almost 20 years now? And it was worth it. It built up perfectly to Infinity War and then to Endgame. And there was money to show, and there was truly a reason to put that much money, $500 million, into a movie and pay your actors $50 million, $80 million, whatever it was. The Marvels, has anyone even seen them? I barely saw the Marvels. My eyes saw them. My eyes were, the photons from the TV hit my eyes, and my brain, I think, understood what the hell's going on. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not understanding maybe I'm not getting it. Maybe it is me. But I don't think it's me. The reason I don't think it's me, and I mean, money is not the only thing that matters when it comes to if a movie's good. There's a lot of movies that, like The Thing, from the 80s, from 82, I think it was 82. It didn't do well in the movie theaters, and it didn't do well, box office, whatever. But it's a cult hit, and everyone loves it when it hit home physical copy, right? Physical media. That's where a lot of those movies that didn't, do too well, there maybe sometimes even like low budget movies that didn't do too great in the movies because people didn't really give them a chance. Look at Napoleon Dynamite. I went to see Napoleon Dynamite, I think the second day it came out, maybe the first day. There was 4 other people aside from me and my sister. Literally, I think 6 people in the whole building. Well, not the building, but in the movie theater. I think it was the first day that it came out. So now look at Vote for Pedro, all this shit, right? The Marvel's budget was $275 million. And it probably was more than that, but that's what they're reporting. It barely made $206 million worldwide. So that's not just the United States, that's everywhere. China, basically anywhere that has a movie theater that anyone went to see this movie, it only came out to $206 million worldwide with a budget of $275 million, which, like I said earlier, you have to make at least 2.5 to 3 times as much budget as you put into something to make it profitable. That means if they wanted the Marvels to be profitable, it would have almost had to be $1 billion. Almost. Like, it would have had to be like almost $900 million in order for it to be worth making this. I think this was the one that was going down as like the most like terrible Marvel movie ever made. I think, and not just my opinion. I think it was rated that. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that part. But where's the money? Where did the money go? I mean, the story was shit. It felt like it was an AI movie. It felt like it was made, created, and written. Shit, almost the CG. It's incredible. It truly is. Ant-Man and the Wasp, $200 million worldwide. That's the movie that brought in Kang the Conqueror, right? That movie, which should have been big, especially with a name like Quantumania, and it was the last one of the Ant-Man movies, or not the last one, but like the third of the trilogy. That was what that was, right? And it's $200 million budget, but it just $200 million worldwide box office. It's not making money. You have to make a lot more than that in order to make any sort of profit and make it worth it. Another Disney blunder was Indiana Jones 5, which was a $388 million production. It didn't even break even. It was at $344 million worldwide. Indiana Jones. Everyone knows what Indiana Jones is. Everyone knows Harrison Ford. And they made it, these people at Disney / Lucasfilm / fucking Marvel are just, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Now, just a couple of honorable mentions that I didn't really make it into my anger issues with fucking Hollywood spending was Haunted Mansion. $150 million budget, made worldwide $117. Sorry, fuck, I might as well made $117. $117 million back. A movie about ghosts and hauntings released in July. Why the hell did they release it? Did they know that it was gonna suck that bad that they said, fuck it, let's just release it to the kids that are not at school right now? Like, what the fuck? They couldn't have released it like a month later in August? 2 months later. I'm almost positive, with all the spooky shit going on with Halloween, somebody would have went to see that movie. And my poor boy Bobby Lee was in Borderlands, which it was $110, maybe $120, $120 million budget, and it brought in $31 million. It brought in less than a third of what it cost him to make that movie. I don't get it. Where is this money going? I truly think that it's less of bad decisions on behalf of Hollywood. Well, it definitely is a lot of bad decisions, but I think a lot of it is money laundering. Now, there's no proof. It's just alleged. It's alleged. I'm sorry. There's no proof. There's no nothing. I have no papers, nothing. But how does it explain $462 million, of course, so that's including the rights, but the difference of that is what the first season of The Rings of Power cost. Where is that money? The ratings are shit. The show is shit. The fans hate it. And I'm not saying true Tolkien fans. I'm saying people fucking hate it. There are definitely people that like it, obviously. But The Rings of Power are forced to make 5 seasons. So they're going to be losing money for 4 more seasons. Or 3 more seasons. They're on season 2 right now. I stopped watching after the first episode of season 2. It just, I couldn't torture myself like that. Now, aside from money laundering, I feel like AI has to do a lot with this. They're using probably like programs like ChatGPT and other chat programs to write probably like basic, simple outlines, and then they pay some shitty writers that were on strike for no fucking reason to write really stupid shit that nobody watches, like Agatha All Along, or whatever that show's stupid called. I'm not even speaking correct English anymore because it's so stupid. I just hope that smaller independent studios, like film companies like A24, Neon, and a lot of those smaller, still big and still creating good content, delivering fresh, new, nuanced stories. Even it's fucking weird, like the movie Men, it's still not the Marvels. It's still not the Rings of Power, you know? I'm just afraid that those small studios are also gonna end up becoming too big for their bridges, or whatever the fuck they call it, and end up being the same as all these other Hollywood studios. I just hope things like Everything Everywhere All at Once that won an Oscar and had so much true love behind it. I hope things like they're a little smaller in scope and in budget, and where actors care just a little more to make it a good project. I hope those achieve a little more success and even commercial success just to keep them going. I'm just afraid that Hollywood will implode soon, especially with all these allegations with certain rappers slash media moguls and other big wigs and big names in the industry. That's it.